What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a brand new college football 25 rebuild where we have 10 seasons to completely revitalize the Stanford football program and bring them back to the prime years where they were absolutely considered a powerhouse of college football. No longer in the Pac-12, we are members of the ACC, so that competition is very much welcomed. But when I was in my infancy of being a college football fan, right around, honestly, it starts right around here, is when Harbaugh got signed to be the head coach of Stanford. And then, from then, you went into the early years of David Shaw. David Shaw was an excellent coach. And then it kind of fizzled out a little bit in the later years. Later year represented, we got a couple Eagles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, current Eagles legend. Tanner McKee was there for a minute. But when you think back to, some of the prime years, going backwards, you had Bryce Love. Remember Bryce Love? He was a Heisman favorite at running back. You had Christian McCaffrey. You had Toby Gerhart, who till this day, in 2009, where he had 2,000 yards rushing and 28 total touchdowns. I think when he lost the Heisman Trophy to Mark Ingram of Alabama, that is still the biggest robbery in Heisman Trophy. People were talking about, Ashton Genty this year versus Travis Hunter. Wasn't even close or even compared to how bad Toby Gerhart got robbed back in 2009. There was a minute here where Stanford was entering discussion of tight end U. Kobe Fleener, Dalton Schultz, Austin Hooper, most notably, Eagles legend Zach Ertz was there. They put some other good offensive players. Ty Montgomery went buck wild, who's a great utility player in the NFL. Doug Baldwin was here at wide receiver, and he went on to become a Seattle Seahawk. Great defensively, some studs. Richard Sherman, Legion of Boom fame. They had Solomon Thomas, who was a top 5 pick. Harrison Phillips, Justin Reed was an absolute ball hawk there. But the man who is currently, until this video, the new general manager of Stanford football, Andrew Luck, was one of one. In hindsight, everyone kind of thought Trevor Lawrence took the torch of the greatest prototype, blueprint, first overall type pick quarterback. But now that we can look back in hindsight, Trevor Lawrence is struggling a little bit. I think we can all probably agree, especially if you're a fan of football around this time, that Andrew Luck's the greatest quarterback recruit, greatest quarterback prospect from college to pro of all time. In 2010 and 2011, unfortunately, close but no cigar, he was runner-up for the Heisman Trophy in both of those seasons. And then he went on to the NFL where bad mismanagement of the Colts never really let him see his potential. Played behind some of the worst offensive lines in football. Ended up probably just sick and tired of being hurt and injured all the time. Retired very, very early. But he has entered the world of football again in college as the general manager of Stanford. But we're going to take that just a little further. Andrew Luck remembers what it was like when Stanford was an S-tier program, and that is what we're going to do. He has signed a contract. And over the next 10 seasons, Andrew freaking Luck is going to bring back the glory days of Stanford football. We are going to win a national championship. He's probably going to find and develop a bunch of Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks because that's what he does. Let's get into it. I've been wanting to do this rebuild for a minute ever since Andrew Luck returned to be a part of Stanford football again because it's completely fallen off the face of football relevancy. And it's so bizarre because there was a minute that they were always in contention for a national championship, always a big time school. And it's cool. I mean, I get it, especially now when you're NIL and you're Stanford, there's a certain academic requirement. It's a little more difficult, but I think now by showing the interest, showing the hype around the program by having Andrew Luck, and I appreciate and enjoy the challenge of when we start. In the last couple of rebuilds we've done 1-star schools. That grind of building up our coaching tree and building up our staff and only recruiting small players. It's fine, but it's good to mix in something a little different every now and again. We have the number 8 player in the nation, a 5-star quarterback. We have him within our top 5. That is so freaking refreshing to see year one. We have 875 recruiting hours. We're not working with a 350-hour budget. That is so refreshing. So the challenge might not be absolutely crazy to get this Stanford program, but also we're not starting in a cookie-cutter conference. I think the path to victory in our last couple rebuilds where we've been in the Sun Belt and been in the MAC, and we've stayed there, the speed that we made the programs, competitive and entering the discussion for college football playoff, probably going to be easier in hindsight than Stanford here trying to compete right away in the ACC. But we got some great players. Let's get up this initial recruiting board. Now, before we meet the team that we are inheriting, I think doing something a little, I usually just like to go recruiter. It's kind of the easiest starting point for a head coach. But if Andrew Luck did become a head coach, I think it's fair to assume that tactician would be kind of his initial starting background. So we're going to work our way here through the offensive side, and then we'll decide likely to slowly start pivoting a little bit into the recruiter tree. Let's take a look at the team that we are inheriting. An 82 overall program, 81 offense, 84 defense, 3.5-star prestige. Our school grades are, things that are easy to change. Program tradition helps, exposure, like all these things kind of already being in the A's and A pluses. We could definitely control coach stability. Like that'll be something that we can definitely, these two in particular, raise immediately. And it's a great starting point. Like I think it will be pretty easy, all things considered, to get this team to 4 to 5-star prestige, which is where they should be. At the glory days of Stanford, Harbaugh, Shaw, they would have been a 5-star prestige program. Now looking at our roster, we have Ashton Daniels as the current starting quarterback. Decent dual threat. I would say definitely want to recruit a quarterback, but we have the true freshman and Elijah Brown. A 74 overall rating is pretty good for a true freshman, all things considered. Especially given the state of Stanford program. They have been good for years. They still land a prospect like Elijah Brown. He's impact dev and a pretty good, all things considered, skill cap. So he could definitely be a guy for us. At running back, the two players that make the most intriguing option. We have Cedric Irvin, a sophomore, 77 with an impact dev, and honestly, really, really good skill caps for his position. So that's something I have noticed, kind of sneaking a peek through this roster. We got some guys with a lot of upside if they can reach their potential. Then we have the true freshman here, Cole Tabb, impact dev, only a 2-star, but again, relatively very, very good skill caps. An unlimited skill cap for his speed and acceleration. The receiver room has a lot of potential. We have Borden, 72 freshman, Harris, 75 freshman, Bachmeyer's a sophomore. We have Cisse and Mosley, both 78s. Not the best skill caps, but we have the Canadian here, Elick Eomanor. I hope we can keep him till the end, till he's a senior, graduating senior, the 6'2", star dev, 0 skill cap wide receiver who took the soul of Travis Hunter 2 years ago out of Canada. We need to do everything in our power to be a somewhat serious program so A, he doesn't want to transfer or leave early for the NFL. Coach at tight end is serviceable for the time being, but definitely a position we want to add a lot more strength through recruiting. Now, there's not a lot of quarterbacks who understand the importance of having competent to borderline, just giving some solid offensive line play, let alone having a great offensive line, more so than Andrew Luck, who never had a good offensive line in his freaking career. Unfortunately, the offensive line that we have here at Stanford is not particularly great. And the guys that we have that are looking fairly solid for the most part are going to be graduating after this year. So as far as recruiting is concerned, more so than any other position on this team, offensive line, we're going to be going very, very heavy as far as our allocations. We run a 3-4 scheme, so the D-line is going to be 3-4, and we're going to build it as a 3-4. Unfortunately, not the hottest D-line, to be honest with you. Marcial Olainka, as a sophomore, has a little bit of upside there, but another position that we have another Canadian, Benedict Ume. Decent skill caps, love seeing that, but D-line, as in prioritizing getting true 3-4 D-line players, probably our second biggest need after O-line. Got to build the trenches to compete in the ACC. Edge rushers and linebackers are, all right, maybe especially at middle linebacker here. 3 of our top 4 are seniors, so we're definitely going to need to land a couple inside linebackers. As far as our pass rush is concerned, I love the fact that most of these guys are scheme fits right away. I remember when we took over Temple and we did a 3-4, it just was bizarre. The whole thing didn't make sense. But we are led by the junior David Bailey. Could leave early for the NFL. I don't know if he actually declared in real life this year, but the 4-star star dev with a 0 skill cap. Sky's the limit. Hopefully we can get 2 years out of him. Secondary certainly doesn't have any Richard Sherman-esque players. We got the junior here, Colin Wright, 88 overall, so hopefully we get 2 seasons. Got a 76 freshman in Nicholson, 72, 76 sophomore. But certainly a position we're not going to want to ignore on the recruiting trail. The same goes for the safety room. Nothing too crazy. Sumlin, the freshman, could develop into a player there for us, but another position that we're going to need to recruit at. We're taking a look at our initial recruiting board. The belle of the ball, as we saw early, the 5-star Rodney Mixon. Potential to be the first ever understudy. Man, Washington's kind of getting out there a little bit. Potential first understudy for Andrew Luck as a head coach. Would love to get him. And I think we're going to have to show the interest initially and hit him with a 50-hour. See if we can jump. I mean, I don't have any worries about Washington State, but Oregon, anytime you see Oregon, let's be honest, you play this game and you have to go to head-to-head with Oregon, you better get out early because they are always going to be there. And they probably, maybe more so than any school, are known for sniping your top players. But for our initial reward, it's nice if a player was within our top 5, but I think for the general house rule that I want to apply to all future rebuilds, this one included, is like it just has to be a player in our pipeline. Because there was a couple 4-stars that had no pipeline attachments for us that had us within their top 10, but I think it just makes the most sense to like not go strictly by our old house rule, which is a player has to have our school within our top 10. That's more of a challenge to throw on a rebuild than it is something that should be kind of established as a house rule for all rebuilds going forward, because ultimately I hope we can work our way to the program builder side of the tree, and through that is where you upgrade your pipelines. And it'd be really frustrating to make that big investment to upgrade my pipelines if still players won't be, you know, fitting that top 10 school threshold that we have as a house rule. So I think pipelines is the best house rule. I'd love to get you guys feedback on how you think about that in the comments, and every now and again maybe we can throw a challenge if we're doing a bigger school that isn't as irrelevant as Stanford has been, that we have to be, you know, a top 10 on the initial interest. But for right now, we are going right after pipelines. We're going to go, we got 2 4-star tackles. One is a gem. We're going very heavy on improving this offensive line. We have Batista, the 93 strength. It's been a minute since I've seen a powerhouse like that. That's kind of what I want for all my linemen. 88 is kind of the threshold I've personally set for me to try to chase after a player. For the D-line, we are going after players that fit our scheme. We have the 4-star gem here, Lonnie Cherry, 6'4", 287. We have Frederick Kroll, 6'6", 308. Will be a bigger defensive end. Isadora at nose tackle, 4-star gem. Looks incredible. Might be pound for pound out of all of our 4-stars. The best on paper looking recruit. We have the 4-star pass rusher, Cornell Brightwell, 6'1", 240, 88 acceleration, 85 speed, can come right out the edge. We have the 4-star linebacker, Alex Wayne, 90 speed, 89 acceleration. He could very likely be a day 1 starter next year. And the 3 stars that I was able to find are gems, which certainly helps out. We have Shabazz, who's a top 50 player in the class as a 4-star gem. Got some other big schools here, but ultimately, I mean, I'm a little worried that we got 18 targets as a starting out point, but we also have 700 hours that we have at our disposal, so I'm pretty confident that we can handle an initial recruiting board this big. And it's something that's going to be probably a familiar sight, especially on this rebuild. We had Shabazz, top 50 player, first by a long shot. Oregon wasn't even halfway there, and then just 1 week, the NIL money, the Nike money must have hit, and he's gone. And there goes our understudy. Goes to Washington. God damn it. And there we go. We get our first recruit, the 4-star gem pass rusher, Lonnie Cherry. Finally. Let's get the 4-star gem, Kyrie. No. Take that back. Not a gem. You got to earn the gem. 4-star normal, Kyrie Blunt. The reinforcements on the O-line coming. Rabe, the 4-star tackle. Big get. Another big get, Frederick Kroll, who'll be a 3-4 defensive end for us. Lose out another Washington. We lose our pass rush. God damn it. This could end up being nothing, but now I have to double back in and try to find a pass rush, a 5-star pipeline. We still got a chance. That's a huge get. Brian to lead the 4-star gem at wide receiver. O-line reinforcements continue. The 4-star gem, Matthew Huber. We have the 90 speed linebacker, Alex Wayne. That's a good get, especially stealing him away from the Huskies. The interview number 1, bowl eligible for Stanford. Boca Raton Bowl against ranked North Texas. So in real life, in 2024, Stanford went 3-9. So with Andrew Luck, Stanford going 7-5. I mean, 7-5 is a reasonable record, I think, for where our team is at. 5-3, our first year in ACC conference play. Ain't too shabby. And if we can finish this season off with a bowl win in this alternate universe, that is a lot of momentum for Stanford going into the 2025 season. Where in real life, coming off a 3-9 season, you know, I don't think many people are expecting Stanford to not be like a bottom 3 team in the ACC next year. But this is not real life. This is the rebuild. This is what we're working with. And let's cap it off with a bowl game victory. So we'll grab a front row seat here just to see what old Andrew Luck can cook up in a bowl game, which probably would go a decent way and is, you know, improving our school's prestige a little bit. 3.5 would be cool if we can enter next year as a 4-star. Just gives us that much more to work with recruiting, and hopefully we can fight off the Oregons and Washingtons from poaching all of our players. So we go into the fourth quarter with a 4-point lead. Defense playing pretty well. But we got to be able to see this one out, and we are able to kill off the game. Low scoring. Not a classic by any means. But Andrew Luck in his first year at Stanford gets 8 wins and a bowl game victory, opposed to what happened in real life, which is 3 wins and general disappointment across the program. Our season stats this year, passing game, would like to think Andrew Luck, once maybe he gets his guys in here, feel a little bit better. 2,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 picks, ain't anything special. But I mean, not to throw shade, but Ashton Daniels is not really anything particularly special. Cedric Irvin, 700 yards, 9 touchdowns, not too shabby. Receiving, Ayo Manor, 800 yards and 9 touchdowns. Oh no, don't be going to the point. I mean, I would assume on 8-5 we shouldn't have a really mass exodus towards the portal. But look, we have a lot of guys with deal breakers, which I don't love seeing. David Bailey, luckily, does not have one. 8 TFLs, 10 sacks, but he could be leaning towards going to the league. Interception numbers, not particularly great. And congrats to Oregon for winning the Natty here in year 1. Hope they enjoy the 3 recruits they robbed from me. Oh, that's a lot of dudes. I mean, we have 7, so we might as well just everyone that could potentially start. So we have Bachmar gone. Irvin, the starting running back. Yay. Mosley, freshman wide receiver. Galvin, who'd start for us at linebacker, gone. The guard. Moore's gonna be back. Come on, we're Canadian. Don't do this to me. Yes, let's go. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Unfortunately, as we start the offseason, we had a bunch of things go up, but not enough to make the jump from 3.5 to 4 for prestige of program, but it's fine. It's a process. Trust the process. Same with draftable players. Stanford at one time was a great pipeline for the NFL. It's going to take us a couple years to get back to that reputation. Ooh, I love seeing this. Might be the best transfer portal role we've had in a minute. We're not so far down the list. But up here at top, we got Jalen Moss. Yep, interested. We got Tanuvasa. Yeah, interested. He's a draftable player. We got Sam Levitt from Arizona, the one from the college football playoff this year. Isaiah World. And then we got Schweisinger. He's in the discussion right now in real life to maybe one of the top linebackers in the 2025 NFL draft. Well, we're going to try to bring you over. Poach you from UCLA. Oh, so close, so far away. Levitt would have been probably the best transfer portal get I've had on a rebuild. God damn it. Oregon and Washington. Fuck those guys. And we were just getting our asses kicked here. We might get World and Schweisinger. We lose out on Moss and Tanavasa. This is disgusting. Like, I like it when and I complain about it. Like, when we have, like, no one. It's, like, bizarrely, like, the barren transfer portal where, like, I'm a big program. We go in, there's only 2 stars. That's almost better than having, like, this thing line up where it's like, holy, we're going to get some guys that, like, are going to the NFL. And then we're in there competing, multiple waves, multiple days of the transfer portal, and then we still just lose them at the last minute. We had like 5 4-stars. Lost all we got a couple 3s though, baby. I think it's fair to say, from like a recruiting standpoint and a challenge standpoint, that we had a great head start here with Stanford in comparison to some of our other programs. But the fact that like 75% of our good targets are 4-star gems, the 5 stars, the transfer, we lost out on them. It kind of feels like I'm breaking even from having a head start for like my school prestige and hours to the just sheer disappointment of no one wanting to, I guess, commit to the academic pressure of coming to Stanford, I guess. But we still get 9 4-stars in our first class, a top 25. Could have been a lot worse. Look at the players that we landed in the portal. We got 3 guys. We got Bruss at linebacker, impact. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Big T at guard, impact. And Gilmer at wide receiver, impact. Looking at our recruiting class. Normal. Star depth on Alani Hennessy at corner. That's a good get. Normal. Cherry, who's going to be a starting DN, impact. Cruel is going to be a star. Likely a pass rusher. But because we missed out on our nose tackle, we could Move him inside. Believable. To lead the 4-star gem with 96 speed, and hopefully our Ao Manor successor has a star dev. Huber Elite! Let's go, Matthew Huber. That is a guy that we got to get on the field, honestly, sooner than later. Yazi, the 4-star. We just came back late. He was kind of the second wave. I didn't even bother scouting. Just normal. Rabe, star dev at O-line. Normal for Hawkins. Blunt, impact as a top 100 player. And our highest rated recruit, the 90 speed linebacker, Wayne. Elite dev, the rare. No gem elite dev, but you could tell by his athletic traits and his stats that he was going to be a very good player. So a couple elites, couple stars. Maybe now that the dust is settled from the disappointment on missing out on some big-time names, that's still a pretty good class, all things considered, for a year one class. So the fallout from training camp had some nice growth and development across the team, and some of our redshirt freshmen went nuclear. Jalen Nye Sumlin went from like a 73 to an 84. Amari Borden, redshirt freshman, I mean, he had huge development. A lot of our base freshmen went up quite a bit. The talking point is at quarterback, though. We have the redshirt freshman in Elijah Brown, or we have the senior Ashton Daniels. We kind of know what we have in Daniels. So I'm of the opinion that we let Elijah Brown be our starting quarterback. We go with the youth movement. It's a very, very small discrepancy between the two. And I think we have a little bit more upside and go through maybe potential growing pains this season. We might get 1 or 2 more wins with Ashton Daniels. But I think the growth and development by starting Elijah Brown is going to help us for the remainder of the rebuild. So remember last recruiting cycle, I was talking about house rules and how we should just focus not so much on like they have to be within our top 10 schools, but I want to focus on pipelines because that's something that I can grow and develop here with Andrew Luck. And I was just like, well, you know, when you do pipelines, maybe it'll be a little bit easier because the player doesn't have to be within your top 10. Well, here's the exact inverse of that. I need a safety, and a top 20 safety has us within our top 10, but he is not a pipeline. So with these looser house rules, I am still being punished. And there is literally not one legit safety that is interested in the program, so hopefully that'll be something we can pivot towards the transfer portal. Still got a lot of hours, but I'm happy with the first couple waves. Honestly, this is just me looking at the top available recruits, be it base in our pipeline or within our top 10. We got a 4-star gem corner, Kenyon Gallimore. We're his number 3 school. He looks legit, and he's coming in with 96 speed. We have Ben Awesome, sick name, but we need nose tackle help, and at 6'5", 321 pounds, in a gold pipeline, and a top 10 school. Pretty happy with that. Looking for some pass rush help, we have Clint Rishi, a 4-star gem. I'm going to be honest, we got lucky. Got a lot of gems here just on our first little cast through here. We have Orndorff, a 4-star gem. He is within our top 5. We have Kowalski, who'd be a great DN in our scheme. We, you know, part of our Virginia pipeline. I'm gonna try to chase a couple players here. We have the 5-star. I need a tight end. And we got Taylor Matlock, 5-star tight end out of Virginia with 88 acceleration, 86 speed, 83 catching, 86 agility, 84 spec at 6'6". Now we're not within his top 10, so it's, you know, we're swinging for the fences on a lot of these guys that were not within the top 10 because we learned last year pipelines almost, I'm not gonna say throw them out the window, but if you're not in the top 10, you're gonna have to for sure maximize your hours. Which is why I would like to have our target list be definitely a dozen. You might be able to add 1 or 2 more. I do want to see if I can deep dive and find a safety. We have Alex Abrams, 4-star gem wide receiver with 95 speed and a platinum ability. We have a 5-star running back. This is complete. Let's just see. Number 1 player, part of our pipeline in Baltimore, Maryland. 95 speed, 93 acceleration, 91 agility, 83 carry, 92 chase. Like, just ridiculous playmaker. Let's see if we can get him. Now, here's the interesting. We have 4 quarterbacks. All top 200 players. The number 2 player in the nation is interested. But let's see. I'm going to assume. I want to see if we could chase some gems here. And, of course, Kerry Kenyon, the 5-star quarterback. I mean, he looks solid. He does look solid. Not a lot of weakness to his game. Offering a scholarship. He has A+ in playing time, so he would be a huge asset to the room. We also have some 4-stars. Sometimes a good 4-star is better than a regular 5-star. J.D. Michaud. We're his number 4 school. He has 94 throw power, so a bigger arm than Kenyon. Short accuracy is comparable. Medium accuracy advantage. Michaud, he has the gem, so it could be potentially a better dev trait. He's better athlete, marginally. Damn. Then we got McSorley. Gabe McSorley. What do we got here? It's 94 throw power. He's a gem as well. Playing time C+. Mashad playing time D+. So an A+. I mean, do we chase the 5-star? We're not going to go for all 3. But I kind of felt like last year we went all in on the 5-star. He very quickly, where'd he go? Washington, I think. And we had no real backup plan. Oh, screw it. 5-star it is. At the beginning of the season, I got my board. I got 10 targets, and I'm able to go 65 on every single one with time to spare when it comes time to start scheduling visits, hard selling, and freeing up hours. I think we're in a really, really good spot. But we look at Bonilla, we look at Matlock, Kowalski, Ricci, Vines. I found a safety, a 3-star gem. Looks all right. We're not even within their top 10, so hopefully we have a chance to get into that later stage of recruiting with some of these top players. That's a great roll. That's what a lot of 1s and 2s right there on the initial rank. And you know what? Why not? Let's get aggressive early, because another thing that we've done in these rebuilds is just the natural progression of things. Is that when we win the Natty, that's when we're done. Check mark. Rebuild done successfully. It's around the end game is when we finally start getting some of these top 150 recruits. Maybe we start getting a 5-star. We never get to see their growth and development. So I think one of the opportunities and advantages that has been presented to us here in Stanford is because we get that whole West Coast recruiting, California. We got a lot of nice pipelines. Is that earlier than not in this rebuild, we're going to be able to try and swing for the fences here and get some top players and actually have a chance to watch and see them grow and develop and be the core that helps bring us to a natty versus what we've seen in kind of the last couple rebuilds where it's like, all right, it's essentially, can we win a national championship with 3-star gem players? Got our schedule for year 2. We got Iowa State. That's a tricky out-of-conference play. San Jose State, UNLV. I'll be honest, I love to be 3-0 coming out of that spot. Then we get ranked North Carolina on the road, ranked Miami on the road, home game against Florida State, home game against Notre Dame. I'm going to assume most of those teams will still be ranked. Maybe not as high. Maybe there's an L in there. Hopefully an L to Stanford. But very, very tough schedule, all things considered. 8-5 last year. Had a couple more cookie-cutter layups than this season. We're really, really running the gauntlet in the ACC this year. But I'm confident that this freshman quarterback will get us where we need to go. And a week 1 victory over Iowa State, David Bailey, the senior linebacker, 10 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 sacks, an incredibly dominant performance from the senior, looking to try to achieve first-round status. Let's go. We got our first signing of the year. It's a 4-star corner, Kenyon Gallimore. And we're getting these guys early before the gauntlet. Alex Abrams, the 4-star. The 5-star, Taylor Matlock at tight end. That's a coup for Andrew Luck. We get the 4-star, Ben Awesome as well. This is week 4 of the regular season. News, we lose one of our pass rushers to Oregon, of course. Andrew Luck's a genius. 5-star tight end, locked in. 5-star quarterback, locked in. 5-star running back, locked in. The only bad news over recruiting from our initial cycle is we lost out on our 2 edge rushers. Both to Oregon. So I'm double dipping back in. We got Josh Chance, who had us within his top 5. We're going to see if we make a go of it here, and I need to find another one for our board. Yeah, we'll chase Finau, top 100 player. Might be a little late to enter the race, but we'll all hands on deck. But an absolutely insane haul. We have the number 31 player, the number 2 and number 1 recruits. Stanford, well, these guys could still suck. Knowing my luck, impact defs. But get the word out, man. Stanford is coming back. It's a second defensive player of the week. 2 TFLs, 2 sacks for David Bailey as we defeat North Carolina. Start the season 4-0. And for the first time in a very long time, Stanford has a little number next to their name. But week 7 is a great measuring stick to see where we're at as a team as we take on the number 10 Pitt Panthers. Let's get a front row seat for this one. Now I gotta remember. The hell is that thing? We got a true freshman quarterback. So I'm expecting to slip up at some point. I'm sure, right, when we get a front row seat, it's when the pressure's going to be way too much for my team. But I'd love to see them fight, man. I don't like to see these guys. It's added pressure. We have an insane amount of talent getting ready to come in that wants to start. So we get a lot of players here, especially offensively. Let's see ya. defend your position. If not, we're going to let these 4 and 5 stars just walk right to the starting spot. And it's not looking good. Looking like we're getting an L here. Close. 1 score. Sucks that one was at home. Luckily, no visits or anything. Like, we got our recruiting done early. But the first time we play a legit team, humbling. And we got 2 starting freshman elite dev tackles. They got put to the woodwork here. Johnson moving all over the D-line, interior and exterior. Mark that down. Next time we see Pitt, we'll remember this one. The rules are made to be broken in rare circumstances. I think we can agree. Because we finished our board so early and got all these guys locked in, I just went back and looked at the prospect list. I literally just searched by who still has us in by 4 stars, top 10 interest. Found one guy that wasn't a part of our pipeline, but old threshold rules, he was still in our top 10. We were his number 8 school, and after 1 week, actually, let's scout chance here just because, why not? He's probably a bust. Oh, he's not. That's not bad. This guy feels like an exception, ladies and gentlemen. So he was a top 10 interest in Stanford. Not a pipeline player, but I think he's good enough that everybody watching go, okay, C4, you're right. What is this wide receiver? He's a 4-star. 6'5", 97 speed gem. Think we can let this one just sneak under the... We won't talk about it. I need this. I want this. I think that's now official rule. If you're 6'5" and you have 97 plus strength, as long as you are either interested or pipeline, that's the only position that we can go after. Let me get this guy. Even if you flame me in the comments for breaking my own rules, I don't care, because this guy's going to be incredible. And he had interest in... Who am I to deny people that want to come to the great Stanford University? I don't care where you came from. Unfortunately, we lost to Pitt. We lost to Miami, so we're on a 2-game losing streak. We have Virginia... should win. SMU's going to be tough. Florida State, even at 3-3, is still ranked. Boston College and Cal, and we're going to finish below 500, aren't we? Good and bad news. Good news is we get that freak of nature wide receiver to commit before the last week of the season. The bad news is, yes, we beat Notre Dame in the regular season finale, but we lost to every one of those tough games. Cal beat us. Florida State beat us. Oh, 7-5 on, brutal schedule, but coming 12th in the ACC. I'm glad we got our recruiting done early, because if they saw the rest of the season, they might have hopped off the ship. But the fact that we got the talent coming in that we do, sky's the limit for this program going forward. This might be our last kind of middle of the mall year. And I don't think you'll ever see us on page 2. That is this, page 2 of the ACC standings. We will never be here again. 3-5 in conference play is brutal. David Bailey finishes his Stanford career as linebacker of the year. The Nagurski Award, I think. 55 tackles, 16 TFLs, and 11 sacks. Hell of a year. And we're in the memeiest meme bowl going. The Pop-Tarts Bowl against ranked Utah. Let's see if we can get our 2nd straight bowl game win and make Andrew Luck get a little bit of a streak here, like The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Andrew Luck will be undefeated in bullshit bowl games. We got the Boca Raton Bowl last year. Now it's time for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Hell yeah. 2 straight back-to-back 8-5 bowl-winning seasons for Andrew Luck on top of what is going to be an S-tier recruiting class. And we gave Elijah Brown a chance, but we wanted to spite him a couple times this year. True freshman, kind of is what it is. Run game was on point, 3 touchdowns. Ayo Manor, beast. Defensively, Cooper got the sack, get the 2 turnovers. The sophomores. And we got the Pop-Tarts Bowl. An edible trophy. Statistically this season, Elijah Brown, kind of similar to what we saw in Ashton Daniels. I don't necessarily want to say it's a ceiling to the offense. Maybe a ceiling to the quarterbacks that we have right now. It's maybe unfair to say our true freshman ceiling is this. But we need better, man. We need Andrew Luck-esque performance. And the fact that we got a 5-star coming in. It's going to be tough for Elijah Brown to keep a spot, but we will see. You never know. Cedric Irvin, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. Forward with 4. Receiving, Ayo Manor, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Hopefully, that deal breaker, he runs it back for one more season with a 5-star quarterback. Cisse was a beast with 9 touchdowns for the sophomore. Borden and Roche, the senior, decent season. Luckily, Roche, the senior, We got, what, a 5-star coming in to replace him. So I'm optimistic on that front. Defensively, Wayne, the freshman, the 90-speed line. Love seeing that. 70 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a pick. Bailey, the linebacker of the year, 16 TFLs and 11.5 sacks. Cooper with 11, 8.5 for the Canadian Ume. But look, that is, hey, 22 sacks leaving the team that we have to find a way to replace. And the one position that did not fall our way in recruiting was edge rush help. So pray to God, if that's what you're into, that we can find something in the transfer portal. At least it wasn't back-to-back years of those thieves Oregon Ducks who steal all our players winning. It's Clemson. Someone within our own conference winning. Makes added pressure that we got to do it. So the good news is we are now a 4-star program. I like to think the bowl game win helped that. The bad news is this is quite the list of players that want to leave. I mean, we'll try to keep all of them. We got Davis Jr., success. We got Tate, fail, damn. Richardson, success. He might start for us. Jackson Harris, damn. Randall, the sophomore. Damn. Okay, we're getting the bad ones out of the way. These are the 2 big ones. Sumlin, who we redshirted as a freshman, developed like crazy. Okay. Come on. Okay. Again, back-to-back years we had to convince him to stay. We got a 5-star. We got a 5-star quarterback. You're going to get 1,000 yards if you come back. Oh, Canada. Holy, yes. Let's go. We sent our first 2 players of the rebuild to the NFL. David Bailey, 1st-round selection, and Colin Wright at corner going in the 3rd round. But there we go, Bailey. Hell yeah. For the transfer portal, got a couple guys here. We got a 4-star freshman, Exodus Ayers, all team first name. So we're definitely going to say you, sir, are probably our top priority because a 4-star as a freshman likely means you are in the 80s as a freshman. So that'd be a sophomore. We got a couple corners here. Honestly, just chasing depth at this point. Lost a lot of names there in the transfer portal that I did not expect to happen when I was kind of recruiting during the high school part. We have a couple 4-stars. We got Rico Flores, deep threat wide receiver, 4-star as well. So we'll hopefully have a little bit better luck with our 4-stars because last year we had a couple and we lost every single one. This is an all-time recruit. We get the big 4-star transfer freshman Exodus Ayers. Wonder if we'll get the wide receiver too. We got Piero. Okay. No, where's the wideout? Conti not back. Get some depth there on the D-line. 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 O-line. Come on. O-line. Oh, it's going to be this. It's either this or nothing. Oh, we missed. Oh, we got the 1 4-star. We lost out on the wideout. Went to Cal. Not bad. I'll take it. What? How? I mean, our class was a little smaller, but with 3 5-stars, we are still not top 10. The 14th recruit. There's only 2 schools that have more than us, but look at that, man. They got, okay, I guess. When you have 29 and 26 4-stars, that's just a quantity over quality thing. All right, so let's see what kind of players we have coming in. And it's fair to maybe even consider A.M. Manor as a get because he was about to leave. We got him to come back. We got Ligbeer at running back, impact. Normal on Shaw, impact, normal. So the 3-stars we got in the portal, they're just making up numbers, if we're being honest. Love seeing Tristan Warner. He's only going to be a 1-year rental, but star dev, normal, impact is what it is. Let's see what Exodus Ayers. This is our big get, the bell of the ball from our transfer portal. And coming as a sophomore, impact. I'm interested to see, though, a 4-star freshman, what the rating was like. Vines is our only 3-star that we landed from high school, 3-star gem, impact dev. Let's get into the 4-stars of what could very well turn into the most legendary recruiting class that we've had so far in a college football 25 rebuild. Star dev, great start on Gallimore with a 4-star corner. Kowalski, 4-star gem, star dev at 286 too. With our, that's a guy I was kind of planning on maybe playing D end, but he could, with that athleticism, 82 acceleration, 79 speed. If he has good skill caps there, we might have him play outside linebacker edge just because that's where we're really, really light from this class. Nassar here will likely also play a little DN for edge. Hines, fringe edge player, but that's you can't have everything. I'm not going to complain because this class is ridiculous. Elite Dev on the 97 Speedster. That we'll just ignore. Ignore the pipeline. He wanted to come to Stanford. Holy shit. We got Abrams with an impact. The 4-star gem with 95 speed at 6'3". There's our first wet fart. The nose tackle, Ben on. Let's be honest. Nose tackles can have normal dev. You can live with it. Let's get into the 3 5-stars. Anything less than star is going to be wet fart. Okay, not a good start. Especially because he's a gem. Are you kidding me? A 5-star gem impact dev is brutal. Maybe he has really good skill caps to kind of make up for it. But that is not a good start. There we go. That is a great start. Kerry Kenyon, no gem, elite dev quarterback. If he has garbage skill caps, I'm going to say vile things. But we very well have, as the number 2 player in the country, the first Andrew Luck understudy, disciple, whatever you want to call it. Kerry Kenyon could be him. And the number 1 player in the class, elite dev, 5-star gem, Eric Bona. This guy's incredible. Probably a day 1 starter as well. I'm getting these guys on the field right away. Trying to find, because that's, again, complain about this every time. I have to find, because it doesn't tell us, the big winners from training camp. Cools up to an 80. Just honestly look at the sophomores here. Elijah Brown up to an 81. Too bad you're unfortunately not going to be starting for us. But our sophomores in the 80s will take that. Rabe, the elite dev tackle. I love seeing him have a nice little development period. Blackburn, Cisse, the juniors are up there. Look at the top, though. Wayne up to an 86 was a starter for us. Huber, another elite dev player, 87 as a sophomore. Nicholson as a sophomore up to a 90. And, of course, our best rated player, Avenor, at 93 overall. Monster Canadian. Let's go. Twice we had to get him out of the portal. I love this guy. Year number 3 for Stanford opens up. We are very good. 4-star prestige, almost a 90 overall. Now, we haven't really played in a conference championship, haven't really flirted with the college football playoff, but I would say at least this year, we're young. A lot of true freshmen playing, but a lot of 5-star true freshmen playing that I would like to think there's a chance that if we get hot, we should at minimum be not on the second page of ACC standings, if not outright one of the best teams in the country and challenging for a playoff spot. Our recruiting board, because our hours are 800, we can work our way up a little bit. Going with bigger than 10 targets. We're going with 14. Some are a couple luxury picks, like Kiki here at wide receiver. Don't really need any wide receiver depth, but looks real nice. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's add another burner. And he was interested. We were within his top schools. We have Biggers at tight end. I actually do need more tight end depth. And he's a 4-star gem. Looks pretty good, number 1. This is actually probably one of my favorite players. Vi Sayavi. The power at 95 strength with the strong grip ability. Definitely one of our top targets. I do need to land a starting guard. We have DeBose at center. He was just high, kind of like a BPA, interested in the school. Why not? We have the hours. D-line is where we want to invest. So we are currently number 2 for Angelo Boland, 6'6", almost 290 pounds with 84 acceleration, 80 speed. An absolute S-tier freak athlete. Same with Durbin at 6'6", 250, 84 speed, 86 acceleration, 4-star gem. He would be an edge rusher for us. We got 2 nose tackle here, and Kavka, gem, with 93 strength. We have Conklin, who'd be a D-end in our scheme, 6'4", 282 pounds, another big-time athlete with that 80 acceleration, 81 speed, 86 finesse move, 91 strength. Really want to land him. Kona Bliss, 4-star gem, 95 strength nose tackle. We're trying to double up here on the nose tackles last year. Really, the first 2 years, there hasn't really been any crazy-looking nose tackles, and we want to continue to really flush out that 3-4 scheme. Got a couple pass rushers here, 2 gems, 4-star gem in Guillermo, 4-star gem in Woollyhand. Both of them, look very twitched up for edge rushers, both power rushers with great athletic traits, 86 acceleration, 87 acceleration, both with quick jump, which is, depending on who you ask, one of the best abilities you can have for a pass rusher. Getting a little safety depth as well. No gems, but 2 4-stars that were already interested in Stanford. And then lastly, we're looking at a punter to replace our senior, and we found one with gold mega leg. It's part of our Texas pipeline here. Robeldo with that 91 kick power. But all in all, I don't know if it's going to be, there's no 5-stars really to test and challenge last year's class, which is going to be an all-timer. But this looks like it is still going to be a very, very good class, and I'm confident that we'll get most of, if not all, 14 targets. And looking at our depth chart here, we are going with a youth movement at every position except wide receiver. Kenyon, the 82 freshman, I mean, he's just a freak, dude. Absolute freak. Running back, we're going with Bonilla, the 5-star. Wide receivers, where it's going to get, I think we get a little cute. We have Abrams and Togiai, the two big gets. And I feel like if they're this far down here, as long as, you know, we're playing the game that they get pissed off they're not playing and they transfer, but they're both likely going to get redshirted. I'm thinking about just redshirt them anyway, and they'll get that gigantic bump up till next season because we don't really need them this year. So I do think I should redshirt those two. At tight end, we're going to go with Matlock here just because he's the 5-star. He's a vertical threat. It's better than going with a blocker, a couple blockers out there. So I do think we got a lot of playmakers that should get on the field early, but we need to pick and choose because sometimes when you do get that redshirt bump, it is just gigantic for the development. We're going Rave, 82, 90, 82, 85, 87 across the offensive line. We wanted to prioritize the offensive line. That's exactly what we're going to do. We have definitely one of the best O-line units in all of the college football world. Now, the downside of my team, I'm not too sure where the pass rush is going to come from. We have definitely no standout players. Interior's a little bit better for sure, but as far as our two DNs, as far as our two edge rushers are concerned, you know, not the best. That's why we're recruiting so heavily at that position this year. Love our middle linebackers. Wayne was incredible. And then we got all the sophomores. They're all in the 80+. We have so much freaking depth there. Secondary, I feel pretty good about that. Nicholson, 90 as a sophomore, 85, 82. Getting Exodus Ayers in the transfer portal, 82. Sophomore, 94 speed, 97 acceleration. An absolute monster. Our safeties are solid. Sucks that we lost, you know, the redshirt freshman, 84, in the transfer portal. Big hit. But overall, I think we will manage. And I definitely think sky is the limit for this team, but there's only so much you can expect out of so many true freshmen starting. But we'll see. There's nothing crazy about this week 0 game against Hawaii, but it is the beginning where we have all of our true freshmen starting. I feel like it'll be a fun point. Hop in, see how well they play, and hopefully we have them for 3 more seasons till they're seniors. So we can see the difference. We can see their beginnings here and their first all start together, and then we'll see where they're at as juniors and seniors, hopefully leading us to a national championship. All right, because we redshirt the wide receivers is the quarterback, Kenyon, the 5-star, Bonilla, the running back, and Matlock at tight end. Those are our big 3. And those are honestly the 3 play. Man, this guy just looks like Toby Gerhardt out there. These are the big 3. You know, those guys are going to have to lead us to a natty. Oh, got a great chance to get this to Matlock. 5-star to 5-star. Of course, they freaking triple team him, so we'll take off. Got a dual threat. No! There we go. A little bit behind him. Don't matter. Touchdown. Opening drive. Go celebrate with the tree monster. Cisse, our slot wide receiver. What a beast, man. What a beast. There's something about a Caucasian running back playing for Stanford. CMC, Toby Gerhardt. Not always the case. All respect to Bryce freaking Young. And by Bryce Young, I mean Bryce Love. Oh my God, dude, he's cracked out. Got him. Did Cisse again? What if here's a throwback, the old school soccer. Is he related to Jabril Cisse? Remember that guy? Real ones will remember that guy. Oh, we should be able to get A minor here. Helps when you have probably the 3rd highest rated wide receiver in the nation. Just gets open. And it was always supposed to be a win, but there you go. Andrew Luck with his S-tier recruiting class. 42-14. Everyone got involved. Maybe could have got the tight end involved a little bit more. But someone's going to get the short in a sec. But Carey, Kenyon, 6 touchdowns. Stud. I know it's only year 3, but I feel like roster-wise, had a potential maybe to keep an eye on an undefeated season. However, week 6, Notre Dame decided, no thanks. You have too many freshmen to be this competitive this early. So at least we got the 1 L out of the way. And hopefully we can go on a big-time run. Really need to win all of these remaining games before we hit that 3-legged ranked gauntlet against SMU, Cal, and Miami to close out the regular season. We've done our job. Undefeated in the winnable streak. Undefeated in ACC play. That was kind of the minimum I want to see here in year 3. I know we have a lot more talent on this roster, but I don't necessarily think that we are 8-5, 8-5. We're probably not drastically better than that 8-5 team that we saw last year. We have more upside, but I'd like to see more competitive play in conference. And the fact that we are undefeated and we're getting ready to run this gone. So first we have 7-2 SMU, so one of the big dogs in the college football playoff 2024. Nice, get a linebacker there, but did we get the win? Yes, we did. And we are up to the number 3 team in the nation. We got ranked Cal, and they beat us. They beat us bad last time. By the first of the triple header gauntlet, 31-24 over Kevin Jennings, who was the starting quarterback when they made the playoff at SMU. Kenyon, the freshman, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 95 yards and a touchdown from Bona. Love that. And he also 20-yard touchdown out of the backfield. Our sacks, this is always kind of my concern a little bit, is the defense. I think offensively we're going to be on point. But I think we're going to probably outscore Cal. It's not going to be a low-scoring defensive battle. Cal has our number. We stumble against Cal. We're still in the college football playoff spot, but we still have to play Miami in the final game of the regular season. Then, potentially conference championship. And, I mean, hey, growing, there's even 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. You play a true freshman quarterback, there's got to be growing pains. Luckily, our running back freshman looks to be absolutely insane. But it's my concern that the defense in these big matchups is just not quite there yet. We crashed out, man. Losing 2 in a row. Damn it. Defense play. I mean, I guess the defense got a little something going here with some TFLs and sacks. But of fucking course. Isn't that convenient, huh? First team out of the conference championship game. So we get a chance to keep our bowl game streak alive for 3 straight. The Holiday Bowl against Maryland. We are 3 for 3 in bowl games. Andrew Luck does not lose bowl games, and I hope that once we get the college football playoff, that trend continues. And it wasn't even particularly close. 37-10 finishing the season. Look at that. We forced 3 interceptions on the Maryland quarterback offensively. We are, kind of, I would say surprisingly, but surprisingly a run-first team. It kind of feels like. But this Bonilla guy is incredible. I can't wait to see the final stats. Dual threat. No sacks, but we did get 3 picks on the day. Nicholson with 2. 90 sophomore. And then Kyrie Blunt. Cool. So look at our final season stats. I think if this is like the floor freshman, he's only going to get better for Kenyon. We definitely, in terms of talent, have a quarterback that can get 30, 40 touchdowns. Somewhere in that range. But 26 touchdowns, protected the football, not a lot of turnovers. I am not mad at it if this is just kind of the beginning. And not a lot of times your freshman hits the ground running, unless you're in a super meta offense. Bonilla, incredible. 1,000 yards. It is so difficult to get 1,000 yards in the sim. Honestly, it's very rare. And for a freshman, for this 5-star to do that, very good. Kenyon also, with the dual threat ability, with another 6 touchdowns. So 32 total touchdowns. Happy with that. As far as receiving, Matlock, the 5-star tight end, led the team in receptions, yards, and almost touchdowns. Cisse with touchdowns. I bet A.M.N.or's a little pissed off that his final campaign not the best. Bonilla with another 3 touchdowns there. So we're just getting a lot of production there. But defensively, our pass rush is not in a particularly great spot. I guess the only good news is our top 2 sack getters are sophomores, and they have 2 more years of development. Shout out the Canadian Ume. 5 picks by Nicholson. Looks like he has a deal breaker, however, so we might need to convince him to not leave in the portal. Good news, there is some good news, is we are now a 4.5-star prestige program, so recruiting has got a little bit easier. So 2 players, don't want to lose either one of them. Caber at safety. High chance to get him medium on Nichols. Nixon would be a gigantic loss. He is our secondary. He is our gem. Fuck's sakes. All right, A.M.N.or goes in the first round. The man that survived 2 transfer portals. Canadian to Canadian. Happy to see that. And we got the guard Balenko going in the 5th. But we have a massive issue now because hopefully we, portal giveth, taketh a 4-star corner. Give me one back. Wow, guys, look at all the 4-stars that have no interest in joining my team. We got 1. Brutal, man. They got to fix this. This is easily the least, outside of seeing your training results, the transfer portal is like the least realistic, least satisfying aspect, I think, of Dynasty. I have one guy. Now, it could be a 2-star that's only interested. I have one guy interested. One. Out of the whole portal. Yes, good news is there's only one player that wanted to come to us in the portal and is 4-star. We are able to get him. So overall, class wasn't as ridiculous as it was last year with the 5-stars, but we still finished with a top 15 class, landing 16 4-star players, our 1 3-star being our punter. So taking a look at our recruiting class, I want to see some good depth traits. If I have to cope with losing a 90 sophomore corner, I better have a hell of a class coming in. So our trades portal get in Demarion White, Impact, Osgood, Kimatu, Trent Hazelton, and Martino. All were just kind of like the surplus guys. I just had hours. Looked at the pipeline for 4-stars, and we might be able to get, they're just going to be depth players. For my cream de la creme of class, our Mega Lake punter, just Impact. The guard that I'm about to go to is probably my favorite player from stat-wise of the class. Siavi, and he's Impact. Oh, let's go. Elite dev trait for the 95 strength powerhouse. Tight end here, Star Dev, not bad. He's going to be a depth player behind our 5-star. We have Impact on Webb, Elite Dev on Manu, Guillermo, the power rusher out of Rowlett, Texas. Bolin, normal. Dubose, Impact. Worthy, normal. Bliss, Impact. Woollyhand, Impact. And Kiki, normal. So honestly, got a couple elites. Anytime you get a couple, you feel all right, but that's a lot of junk near the top end of our class for our guys that are like the top 200 players. Brutal. Just scouring through our training results here to cap off year 3. Love seeing some of the RSF to Baba Awesome's up to an 80. Vines up to an 80. Gallimore corner up to a 79. Abrams at wide receiver, I thought he'd have a little bit more growth and development, to be honest with you. But as we can see, got a very nice hit up here in Togiai. The 6'5", 97 speed playmakers up to a very nice rating. Hennessy's up there a little bit. We need the corners to start to pop off a little bit. You know, not angry. Not angry over that. Kenyon is up to an 88 as a sophomore, which is what you want to see. Bonilla is arguably in the discussion for the best running back, the best weapon in all of college football. And Pertinent maxed out right now already with that 99 speed. What's the tight end at? He's another player. I mean, not everyone's going to, pop off and go buck wild, but Matlock up to a 79, not brutal. But expectations this year going into year 4, gotta play in the ACC championship game. We're getting a lot of respect. We are preseason ranked number 4. But they decided, I'm not going to change it. We'll embrace the challenge. So we got Notre Dame will be tough. Cal, who got a preseason ranking. They said, hey, how about you take on Utah week 10? Okay, play them at home. SMU, Clemson, ranked North Carolina, ranked Syracuse. Learn it. If we're going to get there, we are sure as hell learn it. This is very difficult. I imagine one of the toughest schedules in all of college football. And we're going to embrace it. I think we're going to go back and swing for the fences, bring some heavy hitters in. Small class, don't have a lot of crazy needs. I need like a running back, a tackle, 2 to 3 edge rushers, a corner, and a safety. Everything else is kind of surplus. Backup quarterback also made that list. And when you have a 5-star gem who has us within your top 5, we'll take a swing. We got York, who's just a pipeline player, but we're going to try and make a lot of ground there. The 5-star gem, 21st player in the nation with that 94 speed. We got Galagos, who's just straight up gem wide receiver within our pipeline and a top 5 at a school. 6'3" with big-time deep speed. This guy looks incredible. Chad Chambers, the 5-star guard, who we might, between him and Cook, like bigger guards, so could, slide to tackle. We can kind of move them around a little bit or move guards that currently are on a roster to the one on the tackle spot, which is the position that we need. So we're going to see, and I love the fact getting another 5-star talent that has us on their initial board. Pass rush didn't get crazy. Gore looks solid, like no gem or anything like that, but Brunskill is going to be the belle of the ball, I think, of this entire class. As far as like positions that we need help at, he would definitely be a little bit on the bigger side, but stand up at pass rush, and he looks like he'd be incredible. We have some just BPAs here in corner. Hills, 4-star. Schulters, 4-star. No gems. And luckily able to find one last one here. We need a safety help here. Deshaun Reed, the 4-star gem out of California. Damn. Damn. Well, the good news of at least, going from preseason to week 0 and losing a player is you still got plenty of time to make some ground. So I scouted the remaining pipeline pass rushers. We got 2 gems here. Jalen Timms, who looks pretty good. And then we have Tino Isamoa. 89 strength, 87 excel. Oh my God. I kind of want, you know what, honestly? We get enough hours. Let's go for both these guys. And our 3-4 defense has been a work in progress. I love seeing in a week 2 win over Vandy, Lonnie Cherry with a 2-sack National Player of the Week performance. It's week 3 and we just got a 5-star running back committed. Hell yeah. It's week 3 and we got another Player of the Week performance. CCA in the slot, 9 catches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a win over Syracuse. And then week 4, we add another 5-star quarterback to the room. And a 5-star lineman. Let's go. So this is like, in terms of speed, we are week 5. Undefeated, 4-0, the number 2 team in the nation. But I've never swung for the fences this high. And by week 5, have this much of my board. Like, there's 2 guys left. And they're, the 2 dudes that we just weren't preseason kind of coming back for. Maybe a little word on Tim's, a little bit. But an absolutely insane start to the class. The number 6, 21, and 13th player signed through 4 games. Every time we play a bigger school, we lose. Shootout loss against Clemson. Not a death note in our season, but god damn it. I mean, it was a shootout. Defense kind of fell off. Yazzie, blitzing linebacker with a hat trick of sacks. That's frustrating. See if my team can avoid fraud alert memes. Big matchup here against Utah. Put up or shut up. We'll grab a front row seat. Win here against the number 5 team in the nation. Probably erases whatever regression we had off that Clemson loss. But I've yet to see my team play good against a big team, which is very worrisome because the whole point of this is go on to win a national championship. I don't care that they could beat Vanderbilt and TCU. We're looking pretty good. And I mean, we're still early. The core of our team is sophomores. So they're only going to get better. But, I'd like to start seeing shades of what the potential could be. And that was just a dominating defensive performance. 14-3. Hell yeah. And that should likely bring us, I'd say, 4th. Maybe even up to 3rd in the nation. See who got player of the game. Probably someone on the defensive side of the ball. I'd love to see it. No, it's Board in the slot wide receiver. Got both our tutties. Well, the defense got after it, man. Cherry Yazzie as like a blitzing linebacker has been a godsend to our team. I'm happy that our pass rush, our 3-4 is finally starting to figure it out. And a big week 11 win over Duke. Cherry again is on fire with a 4-sack performance. And a regular season finale, the rivalry matchup. What a game. 10-1 Notre Dame, 10-1 Stanford. Some other ranked 11th, and we're ranked 2nd. I guess our good loss, quality loss against Clemson is helping us out here a little bit. Let's get front row. Front row, take us to this one. I'd love to see another defensive shutout type performance. Now, luckily, because Notre Dame are cowards, they are not in our conference, so we have already secured our ticket to the ACC championship game. But this win here likely could propel us to the number 1 team in the nation. See what we can do. All right, we strike first. Our defense playing well. Pitching a shutout in the first half. I'd love to see our offense score more than 7 in the first half. But it is a defensive battle. We have shown that we can win ugly. But there we go. Trading touchdowns quickly. 3rd, early 4th. Notre Dame driving down the field. Looking for an equalizer. 48 seconds. Oh, let's go. Another defensive performance. Stanford winning the old school way. Hell yeah. Who's getting it? Someone on the defense this time is going to be Cherry, our boy Cherry. The Battle of the Legends goes to Stanford. We finished the regular season 11-1. First place in the ACC, and it's Yazzie. Hell yeah. I couldn't have asked for a better ACC championship game. A chance to avenge our only loss of the season against Clemson. Let's go. Not only that, it's the, I guess, somewhat disappointing 5-star tight end who gets player of the week with a 2-touchdown performance. We finished the season number 2 team in the nation, 12-1. And look at that. 22 points scored in the 4th. 3 picks forced on the Clemson quarterback. Oh, not a good performance by us either. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Jameis Winston stat line. I guess he had 4. He had 4 touchdowns, including the rushing one. So it's positive, net positive. But I think it's just our defense is coming. That's the deciding factor. I think how we're having success now. We're not having it before. It's our defense has come along. Who the hell's keeping us out of the ones? It's USC, 12-1 USC. All right, well, we await the winner of Texas, Wisconsin. Wow. First kind of every other Heisman winner has been boring. Guys you see all the time, Cam Ward, et cetera, et cetera. Look at this guy, Kyan Barry Johnson, the wide receiver for Wisconsin, who I'm sure we're probably about to see 27 touchdowns, 1,600 yards. Jesus Christ. Luckily, Barry Yazzie gets linebacker of the year. Doesn't show his sacks because he was kind of a hybrid, do-it-all Micah Parsons type, but he earned it. Second linebacker of the year award, going back way to David Bailey from our original roster. And luckily, we do not have to deal with that Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver because Texas was able to defeat Wisconsin. That's still a tough challenge within itself. As we do with all playoff games, get front row seats. It's year 4, so I can't, in good conscience, technically hop in. Next year, year 5, I can, because these rebuilds are a minimum of 5, maximum up to 10 years to turn the program around. But then hopefully with a front row seater, we can watch our defense the way we have seen them all year long, stifle our opponent, we win old school. Run the football down their throats. And unfortunately, Texas defense is providing itself to be quite a challenge. But luckily able to kick a field goal where you're down 1. Low scoring game. Texas scores first in the second half. Oh, they're piling it on. And we're definitely starting to feel maybe the lack of experience on our team. Young roster. Disappointing. There's no way around it. Disappointing. But they still got Arch Manning. We got a sophomore quarterback. We'll retool, regroup, we'll be back, and we'll be better next year. Expectations next year after winning the ACC this year, I want Natty next year. And let's do that classic like Stephon Diggs. Watch them celebrate. USC went on to win it. Beat Texas. We're trying to be like them. But look at the... Okay, interceptions went up a little bit. But our touchdowns, you've got about 10 extra touchdowns, 10 extra picks. Maybe it's like kind of the monkey's paw there a little bit. Oh, man, it'd be nice if Kenny can get close to 40 passing touchdowns. Like, yeah, okay, we'll give you that. He's also going to throw way more interceptions. Got to refine that just a little bit. But he continues to be dynamic. And we're getting a lot out of Kenyon as a dual threat. Cisse over 1,000 yards. Talib with 10 touchdowns. Still not really having that alpha. If Adrian Monroe was never the alpha in our scheme, maybe that just won't exist here with this Stanford offense. Defensively, 17.5 sacks for Yazzie, the linebacker of the year, the junior. He is, I'm going to go look at my depth chart. I'm almost certain he is middle linebacker starter, but he might be sub-pass rusher. Lonnie Cherry with 15.5. 4 picks from Hennessy. I'm not seeing any of these top guys with deal breakers, so hopefully we won't get robbed in the transfer portal this year. A little light on draft players this year, only sending 1 player to the 7th round, but I think that's not so much a talent indication of our roster. It's just we're a young roster. We don't have many graduating players. Is this so much to ask? Why? Why now? Like out of the blue, why am I just now magically getting a bunch of 4 stars? Where was this last year when I desperately needed it? Not complaining. Where's the consistency? So a signal of our intentions here in year 5 and how we've brought Stanford back, number 2 class, and we missed out on number 1. And I think we have the severe quality over quantity, as they took Miami 15 extra recruits to have 1 more point than us. So we truly, in my opinion, have the best class. And I would almost make the argument Oklahoma has a better class. I'd say us. It should be Stanford 1, Oklahoma 2. Miami's out here padding their stats. So people that have trade roles here from our transfer portal gets a couple of impacts, normal, impact. Okay, I'm starting to see why these guys hit the portal. But they're 4 stars, and honestly, if we have to keep on keeping on, these are going to be players like Burnett's 1 and done. is 1 and done. Gibson's going to be 1 and done. Miles is going to be 1 and done. Like, even if they could just come in and get drafted and help, increase our pro potential grade, especially after last year we only had one draftable player. That will help. Now, looking at the players we recruited, we got Miles Hawker, elite dev safety. Let's go. He was a second wave player, too, just coming back and seeing who was still in the pipeline available. Same with Doug Cook, a 4-star GM guard with a star dev. Star dev on the 4-star GM, Deshaun Reed. Impact. Normal. Star dev on Luis Gallegos, the burner, but now we're into the 5 stars. And Devin York, star dev running back. He's depth, but he is clearly our starter. But it gives us a little bit of a 1-2 punch. Chambers, elite dev guard. Need to get him on the field sooner or later. And the backup quarterback, Mick Goodwin. Pressure is on, especially if Kenyon's interceptions keep on keeping on. I'll put it this way. Mick Goodman, I'm going to look at his skill caps. And we might have a decision that we need to make to find the best quarterback that can lead this program forward. But I'm still leaning it's likely going to be Kenyon. And to wrap up the year, looking at the development, this team, we're old, man. For whatever, a lot of seniors. I'm going to have a huge recruiting class in case this season somehow crashes and burns. But with that being said, Kenyon's up to a 91 overall quarterback as a junior. Look at all these 90 flat Bonilla. This Cole Tab, is I'm actually a better running back. So unfortunately, you're not. NIL will determine who our starter is. But this team is absolutely stacked. 94 overall. It's natty or bust. So I'm not going to go with the freshman. I don't think. I think we understanding the pressure of this season. 4, 5 skill caps. Just out of curiosity, 5 skill caps on Kenyon. Goodwin. More arm talent. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No matter what way you cut it, they're both elite players, and the veteran clearly is going to give us the best chance. So he will be our starter. For our schedule this season, it's manageable. Fresno State, Virginia Tech, Arizona State need to be wins. Miami ranked, could be tough. SMU, they've given us some trouble in the past. Notre Dame's ranked this year. North Carolina's been thorn in our ass a little bit. Clemson, that's probably going to be the big one there. That'll definitely be a decider. But ultimately, as a 94, there is no doubt in my mind that come college football play, we can look at all the teams' ratings. We are the P4P best team in college football. Which means, go win it. Go play to your potential. Don't end up losing to North Carolina and San Jose State and costing ourselves a championship. I don't even think doomsday scenario. Just handle our business and win some goddamn games. Our recruiting. Got some 5 stars here. 5 stars that were interested. That is a rare instance. Allen and Angulo were both, because I don't need wide receivers. For my team needs, I need kicker, corners, edge, inside linebacker, DNs. But when you have 2 5 stars, they're like, yeah, we're both number 1. I'll take it. Same with running back. Not necessarily a need, but a 5-star that was super interested in us, so we are going to chase it. But we are looking real good off this initial board. Only a couple players that aren't there. We have one in Thad Boschetti, pipeline player. We're going to full 65 to try to flip him and get some interest for net. I will say he was actually another. I think we had 3 5 stars that we were number 1. Oregon was able to leapfrog us, so that's always going to be a little bit of a battle. I think ultimately, it's a good class. 15 targets, feel confident. Just a preview, so that if we lose 3 games like that, this is our biggest underperforming team of all time. But Kenyon, 91. We got 91 at quarterback, 95, 96, 1-2 punch at running back. So Stanford has seen running backs like this since they had CMC. Wide receivers, we have Borden 92, 87. Maybe not pure blue chip, holy, we are going to just throw for 1,000 yards every game. But there's just, that's still a very strong wide receiving core. We have our 2 punches here tight end. They complement each other too, blocking and vertical threat. O-line, 96, 90, 87, 91, 90. Best O-line in college football. You go to the defense. You have Cherry, who got, 15 sacks last year. You got Murray, 87, solid run stuffer. Guys that can play the run, that can free up the reigning, defending Nagurski, winner for the best linebacker in Yazzie, who we have just fully uncommitted for him as a pass rusher. Mattingly and Wayne, 2 90 starting linebackers in the middle of this defense. We got the transfer here. He looks solid. Secondary, maybe no, shut down island corner, but 2 87s and an 83. I feel good about our depth there. Maybe a little bit on the short side. Don't got those Richard Sherman 6'3", 6'4" types. Safety room, we got Richardson 88, 85 for DiNapoli, who we got in the portal with 3 platinum abilities. This guy is incredible. And even our special teams is pretty solid. We got one of the best kickers, 99 kick power on Seidler. So honestly, this should be undefeated. Now, we are in ACC, so it's tough games. At bare minimum, we need what we had last year, where we can go to the ACC championship game and already have our ticket bought for the college football playoff to go on a run. We're starting to get some 4 stars, but the 5 stars are what get everyone hyped. And Devontae Fournette signs on. Oh, Leon Allen, the 5-star commit. Same with Angulo. So if this season goes tits up, we got some exciting playmakers coming in. And with our 5-0 start for the first time in this rebuild, Stanford is the #1 team in the nation. We got to hold on to it, though. Here's what's left. That stays between us and a potential undefeated regular season, which we've only accomplished. We did the math like last college rebuild. Like 3 times in over like 150 seasons have we had undefeated years. I think only 2 of those 3 times we actually ended up with perfect seasons. But we got 15 Notre Dame. #3 Clemson here is probably going to be the big one. Blew the records. Notre Dame 4-2, Virginia 4-2, North Carolina 4-2. All these teams are not pushovers. We are going to have to, it's going to be a battle. But we've handled business. Notre Dame and ranked North Carolina. I'd like to think that this is it. If we can beat Clemson, Cal and San Jose State are matter-of-fact type games. So let's get front row seats, see if our team is good enough, see if Andrew Luck has built a team good enough to earn undefeated regular season status. Because if you were paying attention to those scores, we have not been lighting it up. It's been kind of what we saw last time we were good. Just old school, grind you out type football. We might only score 21, but you're only scoring 10. But a little bit of back and forth here. I like how potent our offenses looked. But we are up 21-17 at halftime. Good drive here to start off the first half. Finish with the touchdown. Instant score by Clemson. And we got a minute 38 to hold on to. They go for it on 4th down. They convert it. And the last hurdle. Man, trap game, sure. But on paper anyways, the last realistic loss in regular season play until the ACC championship. And Kerry Kenyon, the junior, puts the team on his back. We punched our ticket to the ACC championship game and finished the regular season as the #1 team in the nation. While we got a 12-0 record, I think, in my opinion, undefeated season means you got to win your conference championship as well. Not a perfect season because that means the playoffs. So it's SMU standing between us at a 13-0. But we handled business against Cal, dominated San Jose State, and I'm very confident that we are a severely better team than SMU. But you never know. Could be the rare trap championship game. The tail of the tape, yeah. This needs to be a multiple score win. I'm not going into this game with a defeatist attitude, but I think we did enough work during the... Oh, I know that we did enough work during the regular season. Somehow, some way, we fall flat in this one. An L won't take us out of the playoff. But expectations, if we lose this one, of where and how far we can go in the playoff, certainly, would be hampered a little bit. And SMU's not going away, but it seems like for the most part, we are controlling this game. We've had the big plays. They've kind of had one good grindy drive. And it is looking like, I'll let it see 38. Hell yeah, baby. 3rd down alert. Can we get a garbage time score? Just one. Let's put a 40 bomb up. So that we go into the playoff and everyone's fearful of what we can bring. And I'd love to get it to the running back of the backfield here. Motion. Boom. Boom. B. Oh, I'm just actually almost over. Okay, never mind. I did not come in and ruin my team's momentum. All right. We are ACC champions. Back-to-back seasons. And we have completed an undefeated regular season. Secured a first-round bye in the playoff. And we're 3 wins away. Andrew Luck wins Coach of the Year for an undefeated season. Hell yeah. Judd Price, the offensive coordinator, gets Coordinator of the Year. A 5-star Bonilla gets Running Back of the Year. 13 touchdowns, 1,000 yards on the season. Matlock, the other 5-star. That is very low bar being set, but we will take it. As he gets back-to-back Nagurski Awards. And it's set. Not going to get a better role than that. South Florida in the Orange Bowl. Tail of the tape of this one is... I'm deleting my channel if I don't win this. And with the John Gruden quote, you know, South Florida comes to this game with dreams, but Stanford's about nightmares. And it's about time to take this 80 overall Cinderella team and just put them out of their misery. They should not be here. They've somehow managed to hold us to a field goal. We're tied. But, come on, fellas. Are you kidding me here? Oh, we just struggling to put them away? No comment. What the fuck? I better see a player of the game be like 9 sacks by Yazzie or something like that. There's no way. What? 10 points against an 80 overall team and win a bowl of oranges. This is disgusting football we're playing. And we got Wisconsin in the Fiesta Bowl here in the semifinal. It's kind of a curiosity thing, but the Heisman Trophy winner from last year still on Wisconsin, so gotta make sure we lock him down. Now, Wisconsin has a little bit better shot than South Florida, as opposed to being 14 points better overall. We're only 12 overall points better than Wisconsin. But if my team, who barely struggled to get 10 points last week, shows up, this could get ugly. But I like my defense that dominated to show up. And it is 7-7. Pretty competitive game here. Wisconsin gets a lead going into halftime. And again, it looks like our offense is just like, just struggling. But we'll tie it up at 14. We got to grind our way out, man. They're not always going to be pretty. 21-14. Oh, no. They're going to get a little bit of magic here. There's a chance they tie this one up. They don't. They can't convert it. We get a sack by a sign role player. 1 minute to go. And we're just winning the most unattractive style of football. You think Andrew Luck? You think it's got to be masterclass offensively. Hell, our offensive coordinator and Andrew Luck won the awards. And it's been like not great. We've been managing. That's the only way you can say it. We have been managing our way to a college football playoff final. A national championship game. Maybe some easy opponents. I mean, players on Wisconsin were good. Reigning the defending, not the newest, but the defending from last year Heisman Trophy winning wide receivers there. 27 touchdowns. He did nothing. Our defense stifled him. So there are positives. But man, oh man. I mean, clean quarterback play. 11-12. You know, if you're not going to, Jalen Hurts stat line. I play to win the game. What do we got defensively? Anyone? Big dogs? Big dogs. Sack and a half of Sain. Yazzie, 2 TFLs and a sack. Cruel with his TFL and a sack. We get a pick from the linebacker, Mattingly. Okay. Kind of like this year's in real life college football playoff final. Like Notre Dame hasn't looked at any point like dominant offensively. Just found ways to grind and win. And that's going to be us. Speaking of Notre Dame. Okay. I mean, their stats this year to get an idea of like what could happen in this stat. Kenyon, 33 touchdowns, 8 picks. I mean, just never able to get this Stanford offense playing like a juggernaut. But we've had great players. The 5-star Bonilla, 1,400 yards, running back of the year. Hell of a season, especially for a sim. I don't think we've ever had a 1,000-yard receiver. But the touchdown numbers are pretty good across the board. The defense is where we dominate. 10 TFLs, 13.5 sacks from Yazzie, 7.5 from Cherry. Not as many as a year ago. Love Gibson there with 6 interceptions. Got him in the transfer portal. And I'm just going to guess that if we can go and defeat Notre Dame, how's it going to look? Probably Bonilla. Big-time rushing yards. Maybe a big-time touchdown. The quarterback protects the football. The defense takes it over. On the Notre Dame side, they don't have a lot of ball hawks. Jesus Christ. 16.5 sacks and 21.5 sacks by the sophomore. That is the most sacks I think I've seen in a sim in a very long time. Oh, they also just got 2,000-yard receivers. Dude, I think this guy won the Heisman. Does it show? Would it show if he won it in this? I'm pretty sure he's the Heisman Trophy winner this year, KK Smith. I'll double check that. The run game is not that in their quarterback. Oh, he just 50 touchdowns. Okay. Yeah, all right, they're the Heisman Trophy winner too. Cool. Tail of the tape, though, advantage Stanford. We're definitely going to hop in here a little bit. We gotta do this. Quite literally no weakness on Notre Dame's team. They have the best quarterback, the best 1-2 punch at wide receiver, the best 1-2 punch at pass rush, probably the two best pass rushers in the nation. But we have Andrew Luck. We have a mutant tree man. And they have a leprechaun. And I'll tell you right now, tree over leprechaun every day of the week. Opening drive. Defense gets off the field. Let's see how our offense can sim. I just want to get okay. Okay. Offense 3 and out. Notre Dame gets the ball back. They score. Let's hop in, help them out. All right, cool. Great start. Great start. Oh, there's that pass rush. We got speed. I don't think they have speed to match our speed. Oh, just do it yourself. Yes, sir. Good drive so far. I want to see if we can get him on the play action. I want to look at Matlock, the tight end. Got him. Got a step. Oh, let's go. Get out of here with the red balls. Tie this one up. Defense. Can't. Okay. All right, our defense is sucking. Step up in the pocket. Oh, it's a red throw. Don't matter. When you got a 5-star, when you have the backing winner, runs away. Oh, that would have been a great house call, but ahead of the 2-minute warning, goal to go to tie this up. All right, get the slant at the top of the screen here to Togiai. 6'5", 97 speed. Should be able to win in that short space, and he does. Instant shed. We are tied. Love to see my defense not give up any points here going into half. All right, we can get something. 21-14, let's tie this one up. Trust your 97, 90. Just, oh, no, god damn it. The red ball, but we can get out of bounds. 4 seconds. My gut says let's touchdown. Good, might not, hey, might kick me, might bite us in the ass. Might not. That's where you can just do that. Texas route to the Christian McCaffrey regen. We are tied at 21 going into halftime at the national championship game. For the second half, can our sim offense do anything? They cannot, but we get a stop defensively, and we get a touchdown. Turn over the ball, and we are tied at 28. Now trying to run it with my Studley running back. Those edge are setting an edge. We're going to have to win this on the arm. Boom, got him. Boom. Brutal, dude. Brutal. Come on, give me a chance. They scored too quickly. Got him. They scored too quickly! Let's go! Oh, no, I don't want to score too quickly. They went to Deshaun Jackson. Miracle of New Meadowlands. Overtime. Let's go. We got the ball first offensively. Matlock. Man, it's so fun when you're not playing with, like, cupcake teams. Fuck yeah, defense carried us all rebuild long. Dog shit all game in overtime. Stop Notre Dame. 42-35. Andrew Luck and the Stanford Cardinal in 5 seasons complete a perfect 16-0 season and have won the national championship. It's like the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl. All offense, but in the end, it's the one defensive. I hate that thing. Burn that thing. But it is a 5-touchdown performance by the former #1 player in the country. 5-star recruit, the first true disciple of Andrew Luck as a head coach. And it has yielded maybe never the Heisman Trophy that Andrew Luck was bridesmaid for twice. But something he never thought possible, a national championship at Stanford. So that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching our newest college football 25 rebuild. What I need from you guys is in the comment section below. Let me know what team you want to see next. So a lot of West Virginia, so they're on the bubble of our next rebuild, but if there's any other school Let me know in the comment section below. I had another suggestion doing Kent State with Nick Saban returning. That's where he started. I think like that's a real fun rebuild if you want to do a little bit more of a cupcake, because this was, you know, it had a decent head start with all things prestige and recruiting hours and talent with Stanford. So if you want to do something maybe a little more challenging, could be Kent State next. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys want to see. Also, hit that like button. Helps my channel and video with the YouTube robots. If your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button as we're working our way towards our new 200,000 subscriber Joel goal on the channel. And that'll do it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.